Hello everyone and welcome back to another ScoreCEO tutorial video. My name is Jasmine, your credit repair business software expert, and on today's video we are going to be learning how you can split an invoice inside of ScoreCEO. Now before we begin, I do want to explain to you what splitting an invoice is used for and how you can apply it to your process. So basically the purpose of splitting invoice is to allow you to take one invoice and split it into multiple invoices in the case that you have come up with an agreement with your customer that they are to pay an existing invoice in multiple payments, making your transactions easier and flexible for your customers. Now that we understand what splitting an invoice is for, we are going to navigate to the invoice section. Now to do that, first you want to make sure you're logged into your credit repair business software, ScoreCEO, and then we're going to navigate all the way down to our invoice section using our widgets on the left side menu. Now we're going to click on Invoices, and here is the area where you have access to all the invoices. You could go to each client individually and go into their payment settings and locate their invoices and do it there also, but this is just a faster way of getting to the invoice area. Now I recommend using the filters. And what you could do is you can select the customer's name using the drop down menu, or you can start typing it out in here. And then you can use the search option to locate the invoice of the client that you are working on. So once you do locate that invoice, what you're going to want to do is click on the little eye that we see on the right side of the invoice. And now we're going to begin to learn how you can split the invoice. Now, what we're going to want to do is we have this invoice splitting option at the top right corner of the invoice. So make sure that you are already inside of that invoice. And then we have two options. We can either split by percentage or we can split by line item. Now, I would recommend using split by line item if you have multiple payments in there, or if you're on pay per delete and you want to divide it, then I would use that one. In this case, let's do the split by percentage. What this will do, it will take that invoice and split it into the number of invoices that you would like. So for example, this invoice is for $99, and let's say that I tell my clients they can do it in two payments. Then what we can do here is we can put it to the number 2 or 3, whatever amount of number that you agree upon, and then I would click save. Now what this just did was it just took my original invoice that we see here of $99 and it divided it into two invoices of $49.95 each. They will both total the $99, but it will create my two separate invoices. So then all I have to do is, if everything looks good, then what we would do is click split and save. This is what it's going to do. It's going to create the two split invoices, so that way when you're looking at your original invoice, what we call the parent invoice, you would see that it is $99, but below there are two split invoices. Now let's talk about how you can manage these two split invoices. So right now I'm currently on that customer's profile because it did send me to their profile. So if I go to billing, we will see we have the $99 invoice. So this is going to be the original invoices, but then we have the other two broken down. Now what we want to do is we want to go into these invoices individually, and what we want to do is we want to edit these invoice dates. So let's say that you agreed with the client that they are going to pay maybe on the 5th and on the 8th of the invoices. So what you would do is you would go into the first one and we would put in the date, let's say December 5th. Our next try date, we'll say the 6th, and our payment date is due on the 5th. Okay, and then we would add this auto processing, so the system can auto process or attempt to collect that payment automatically. So let's save this. So we adjusted our date. Now we're going to go back to our billing, and we are going to see here that the first invoice of $49.50 is going to be processed on 12/5. Okay, that's the due date of when it's due. Now we're going to take the other one that we split and we want to go into it and we want to do the same thing. We want to go to invoice, edit invoice dates, and then we want to adjust our dates. So if this one was supposed to be on the 8th or the 9th, I'm going to say the 9th, which is a Monday. And the next try day, we want it to be maybe on the 10th. And it's due on the 9th, and we want the auto processing turned on. Now, when we do this, we save this information and then we adjusted our dates. If we go back to billing, we will see that we have our original parent invoice. And if we look at our parent invoice, we would see that it has the 2 invoices below. Now, what's going to happen with this? So let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen with this. Once we process this first payment, so once this payment goes through and it's successful, then inside of the original invoice, it will show that invoice, this one that we see here, the first one, was paid. It would show us that it was paid. Now, once the second one is paid, the second payment of $49.50 is paid, then this would show up the status as paid, and then this original invoice would show up as paid because they've completed both payments, and it will then show up as a paid invoice. If only one is paid, the status will still remain as unpaid until both payments are collected. So basically, that's how you can split an invoice inside of ScoreCEO. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to use our chat box that we have located at the bottom right corner of your credit repair business software, or you can visit us at ScoreCEO.com and we have our chat box available there for you also. So please make sure you like and subscribe so you won't miss any of our videos. If you want more tutorial videos like this, please feel free to use our YouTube channel, or you could go right through your system and go to video tutorials to locate more videos to help you best use your credit repair CRM. So thank you for tuning in again. Have a wonderful day.